Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, everyone. Y'all, how y'all like the countdown? Countdown kind of hot, ain't it? It probably cuts to me like a knife looking at it, but I ain't gonna say nothing though. My wife, the mad scientist, engineer, is doing her thing. Gina must be looking at the cat or something like that. She keep
No,
looking back.
I was trying to mute my TV, but my remote just wants to have a mind of its own. But that's okay. I ain't gonna
Okay,
worry.
because I can't hear it anyway.
Good.
Anyway, good morning, everybody out there in podcast land. Wait a minute. It's time for me to do one of my many tasks. The show is live. Huh? Even my wife said when she did it, she did a good job, but she ain't do it like that. Hey, boy, what up, Big Frank? Man, thanks for jumping in there. That's my big nephew there, right there. Good dude, man. If y'all don't know Frank, man, Frank done turned his life around, man. He like a workaholic. You know, it's funny how we all started as hustlers and stuff like that, getting money doing this. Frank, everything he do, he hustle. He like me. He at the job. Shout out to Teray, 2E's, Amy, telling on you the store. Frank is you at the job. You know what I mean? He get to the job, he make a store and all that kind of stuff. He hustle all the time. But now he down at that port. He's what they call him? What they call him? People work at the docks.
A longshoreman.
He's a longshoreman. You know what I mean? And then you ain't got to worry about no extra hustles. Then just get up and get out the bed and go to work. You know, I'm gonna leave y'all with one last thought. It's amazing what a good woman will do to you. You know, CC. She waited him out, didn't she, Lisa?
That's right. Shout out to Lisa.
Frank.
That's right. Lisa waited you out, Frank. She got you now. You done,
he
son.
Never would have thought he'd be in the position he in today. Married to Lisa, love. He doing all the work. He worked doubles, triples. He went to be off one day. She said, "You could have went to work today." He said, "I'm at the cookout." He said, "Well, you could go to work before the cookout, then come to the cookout." Look at that, shook my head. I said, "Jack, well, when you turn into a wife, Jack, the beast comes out of you." So anyhow, man, he a Steve do he a longshoreman, man. This
Good
cat
morning,
doing this
Annie.
Annie! Annie is Becky. When we came up, that's Becky's best friend. Her ride or die. Me and her mother and all of them grew up. Rest in peace, Sharon. Rest in peace, Yogi. To everybody from the neighborhood over there, the great 21216, where kings and queens are born. Anyway, to everybody that we're in your living room, your dining room, your car, your house, your lifestyle, thank you for allowing us to get in there. Here's what we're doing today. We'll tell you about Gina Lee, our historian. She may not say it. She just now came from the dentist doing some dental work. She said she's going to be smiling underneath. You're looking at a smile today. And I just want y'all to know that we, Cece and I, point blank, need her. Right,
absolutely.
We need her. She's our historian. We need her, but she's also the person that does most of the talking. She's the one that does the research.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Who you? Hey, big cuz.
Big cuz.
Another day with God's grace and mercy. That's my cousin from North Carolina, but they my big cousins. You know what I mean? I call her big cuz. She's the one who gave us and horns the term that I always pray with, God's grace and mercy. She says that every day in roll call, and she makes sure that I know it. Yeah, that's my crazy alarm. Anyway, y'all, let's get into our show today. We got some things to talk about. Shout out to everybody that participated in the Harriet Tubman event, which means BB, which means Carl Edmond, which means Miss Taylor. She still calls herself Cunningham. Her husband will knock her head off. Her name's Miss Taylor now. She's married. My wife has been Miss Beatty for years after getting married. That's a whole nother topic too. We didn't know. I thought that when you got married, you automatically became that new person in your new name. They still call my wife Miss Beatty at the doctor's. We've been married 3 going on 4 years now, ain't we, baby?
Yeah.
It's so much to changing your name now. It's like a thesis.
It's so funny because I thought that automatically if you got married that your name changed, but you gotta go through Social Security, MVA, all of this stuff. I'm
And
just
they
getting
even
so. Go
excuse
ahead.
me, baby. Right, baby. Don't they charge you to change your name in some of them places?
No, they don't charge
Okay.
you. But it take. I'm just so we are coming up on 4 years, and now I just got a email the other day from the credit bureau that said it's been a name change on my account. So no, the paperwork never catches up with the situation. Welcome to America.
Yeah, I would have thought because DMV charge you for everything. I would have thought they said, okay, your name on your driver's license is changed and then you got paid. But that's one of the things they ain't make you pay for. That's something.
That ought
Anyway,
to be a topic. DMV.
yeah, I
Lord,
know.
we need a whole show to talk about the DMV.
All right, y'all. Everybody that's out there that's chiming in, that's getting in our thing. Thank you, Annie, because Frank, the starters. We know BB called and Gloria and them up in there, and Big John Lucas will chime in. Mr. Tony Split. Anyway, we got some things to tell y'all. Let's get started immediately. Let's start with our prayer. Prayer starting. Father God, thank you for the wonderful things that's going on in all our lives. Father God, thank you for the strength for this podcast. Father God, thank you for the team. Father God, we're going to thank you for everybody picking up these special tasks. Our engineer, who knows nothing about being an engineer, and that's Engineer Lee. Gina Lee, who does her passion. Her passion is history anyhow. And now has just become the most awesome award-winning historian there is. Dr. Taylor, who's Dr. Ted. Got you again already, Dr. Taylor. I must be thinking about you. Rest in peace, Dr. Taylor, to a good man. But Dr. Ted Sutton, who's over there in Hawaii, trying to give some guidance and direction to us as a group. We always pray for everybody over there fighting them God-forsaken wars, some losing their lives, being away from their families so that we can watch Raven games, do podcasts, hang out, eat bonbons. To everybody that's dealing with this God-forsaken pandemic, my wife always tells everybody is the second variant that's coming out. Please, y'all, get your shots. Please, y'all. It ain't got nothing to do with wearing the mask. Now, you need a shot. Masks don't help you with this thing. So, moment of silence for everybody. Amen.
Amen.
Hey, listen, I wanted y'all to know I need to do better. They've changed the time that we have our show. I apologize sometimes when y'all see me eating at, this time. But I had bariatric surgery, and which is no excuse, but it's what do they say when you go to court? If y'all ever been to court, like you get a speeding ticket and all, he says guilty, not guilty, or guilty with an explanation.
Right.
Y'all probably haven't been there, but that's what they do if you ever get a speeding ticket or something. My explanation is I'm told that I'm told that every so often I need to eat. This is how this goes. This is the craziest thing you ever heard. I weighed 330 some pounds upward. I thought it weighed more than that, but my wife told me most of it was in my mind. I weighed 330 pounds at my heaviest, but I I don't know how to tell people this, but obesity and weight isn't always what you eat. That don't always have to do how many times you eat, because I don't eat no more. I don't eat. My wife eats smoothies all day long now. You feel me? I eat 3 to 4 times a day more than my wife, and I don't gain any weight. When I was back in my day and stuff like that, you know what I mean? When I was obese, I didn't do enough eating to be the size that I was. It was my body metabolism. I'm around people that eat all the time. Shout out to Gwen White from Perkins and stuff. She's a small built person trying to gain weight. She eat all the time.
And you know what? Actually, you see the small people like Gwen, they eat all the time. But it's a proven fact that eating every 3 to 4 hours actually revs up your metabolism. So that's, if you don't eat, most of us are under the misconception that if we want to lose weight, we shouldn't eat. But if you don't eat, it sends a signal to your body that you're starving. So your body stores fat. But
Yeah.
when you eat every 3 to 4 hours, it actually revs up your metabolism and helps you lose weight.
Well, that was the professional way of putting it. The other way that I just was putting it is, I got to put something in my mouth every. Well, shit, I worded that wrong. I got to eat something every. I got, hey, boy, Ham or anybody might be listening. You never know. My nephew Frank on it. Hey, we say party, got to put something in your mouth. You know, they'll change anything
God ain't
around.
finished with you yet.
Yeah, they'll change anything around. Frank will help. He'll change anything around. But anyway, yeah, I have to eat every so often. I have to eat. It's forced me. It told me that every 3 hours I got to eat something. Now that's crazy. I always thank Big Moore, Big Walter Moore from the Great Clifton T. Perkins, and my good friend, he and his lovely wife, for suggesting to me and walking me through getting the bariatric surgery.
That's
It's
right.
all
And
crazy.
when you look down the bottom, it's coming across right now on the ticker, Dr. Dalji Saluja Medical Associates. That's our
A
doctor.
beast,
That's our doctor. The most
a
awesome
beast,
doctor you could ever see. So if
a
anybody
beast.
out there looking for a family doctor or personal physician or whatever, there's his number. Make sure you write it down. You will not regret it. I'm telling you, my husband always credits him for saving his life.
Literally. And I'm gonna tell you something else about Dr. Two. Tell him, baby, he got several locations. You
Yep,
can
he's
get with
got
him. He
three
has
locations.
several. Yeah, he has 3 locations. His father's retired, but this man is something. He cares about you. But let me tell you before you go to him there, don't go over there lying, and don't go over there with your pity party, because he don't care. He's gonna tell you what's wrong. If you ain't ready to go to each specialist there is, this is not the doctor for you. If you're not
Right.
ready to make all your appointments that he sends you to, this is not the doctor for you. If you're not ready to burn your boat, like I told you on my show last night, burn your boat. If you're not all in about getting your body together, this ain't for you. This ain't no game. This ain't no slip, doctor.
Mm-mm.
We all got doctors we can go to get a work slip and stuff like that. This ain't like that. He'll give you a work slip because you done been to 3 different specialists. You're going to want a damn work slip. You're going to want to stay off. He was running us around town, wasn't he, see?
Mm-hmm.
All over. I got all kind of gadgets and stuff. So anyway, without further ado, let's start getting into the show. Everybody that's over here chiming in, thank you very much. We're going to start our show off today, as we usually do. Well, Gina is our historian. But before we do, I want to talk a little bit of roundtable about our awesome trip. We went on a trip to the Harriet Tubman tour. We were guided by Mr. Cunningham. What's the Ira?
Ira Cunningham of
Mr.
I Love
Ira Cunningham.
Baltimore Personal Tours.
I Love Baltimore Personal Tours. Now, we were prepared for this guy. Gina told us about this guy. But, you know, I do a good job in this, that. I was coming from work, so I was running late, only 6 minutes. But still, we had already put together exactly what time we were going to meet. He was on time. Everything was right. And I still was running a little late, but I was coming from work. I work at 11 to 7:30, so that was it. And then we got over and met this gentleman, and after she gave him all these praise, I realized he superseded the expectation that Gina even had for him. This dude really is a Baltimore historian.
Yes, he is.
He loves Baltimore. We was over there in that Harriet Tubman tour. I know he's been there several times. That's why I know he had a lot of information. But he not only had information, he had passion for this thing.
Yeah.
This was Gina's 5th time going on this tour. To me, that's borderline insane. That's crazy. I don't know what. I mean, you know, you might need some medicine for that problem alone. Until we went, Susie, right? We going
Right.
back. You ready to get us 6 in there because this one on me. I'm going back.
And
Man,
plus
you can't.
he was telling us about some other, I mean, the Harriet Tubman tour is one that I could definitely take again, but he was telling us about some other historic things that he had going on in Baltimore. So some different tours and some things, some history and some knowledge that even being a Baltimorean all your life you may not be aware of. So
Good morning, BB, our #1 fan. It's so funny here. I look back and do this. I don't think Gina has the same kind of glasses that I do.
I
My
do.
glasses, okay, the medicine's in the back. Okay, there you go. When you see me do my eye like that's because my reading medicine is at the back. Yours like that too, see?
no.
My reading medicine is in the bottom, so I gotta tilt my head back sometime when I want to read small print stuff. So if you see my head going back, it's because I'm reading.
I'm probably a lot blinder than you and Gina, so they made you already know that. So they made sure that even though I have trifocals, I have those ones that you look up for distance, you look straight for one thing, you look down for reading, but the medicine is uniform. So
But I remember when you came out the first time when I was dating my wife, we went out and got these glasses. Glasses very expensive. Shout out to Daphne too. I think it's Alston is her last name. Where is
yeah,
she at? Optical Fair?
yeah,
Optical Fair over
optical
there
fail, Ingleside.
in Ingleside Shopping Center. Let me tell you though, if you go in there though, bring your wallet. I'm gonna tell you, want to drop yourself 2 stacks. You looking at eyes, me and CCIs. You looking at $2,000 there. You want to drop some money on some glasses? Go there. We found out the hard way, didn't we? No
Yes,
matter
we
where
did.
you go at to save money, you going back there. These are the best glasses, the best prescription, the best doctor, the best person working on us. I apologize we apologize to Optical Fair and we went any place else. It'll never happen again. We spent
Right.
$560 for our glass for 2 pair of glasses. We were so excited, Gina. We just thought, yeah, we saved this money. Man, them glasses messed our eyes up so bad. Every time we got a chance, we put them on to read something and yanked them off.
The worst glasses in the world. And I ain't gonna knock nobody's business. I'm just gonna say it's a discount place on Ricestown Road where a lot of people go.
Oh my God.
It's not worth it. It's definitely not worth it.
They shouldn't have been cheaper. They should have paid us the wham. But when I tried them on the place and all, we did our prescription, we were okay. But it was the reason. Hey,
good morning, Brian Samuels.
Hey, Brian, how you doing, young fella? Good morning, B. So everybody that's out there in podcast land, once again, thanks for chiming in and welcome us into your home. I want to say something that hit me on the tour, Cambridge, Maryland. Cambridge, Maryland. I heard a lot about Cambridge, Maryland from people I know there because from incarceration, from being in the rehab Salvation Army. Shout out to the great Salvation Army that helped save my life, and N.A. Rums, who helped save my life. Lord and Savior Jesus Christ put it all together. But anyway, Cambridge, Maryland.
Excuse me, baby. Can you
turn that off?
Stop that beeping, please.
Watch your tone when we on the air.
Thank you, Jesus. That was getting on my last nerves. It was so distracting. Sorry, guys.
You know Frank listening. Now, plus Frank listening. You know Frank don't allow that. You know, man, party, Jag, you get henpecked, ham or somebody might say.
Look what BB said.
What'd she say?
You can't do that, BB. You said it, I didn't. That's all I'm going to say.
Lord, Jesus Christ, man. I don't know how much they owe us some money. Because my eyes get bad a little quicker, Jack. They part of it. But anyhow, we're going to go around the horn before we get to Gina and let everybody say one amazing thing that they got out of the tour. Here's the one amazing thing that I got out of the tour. Cambridge, Maryland. It has an awesome name. It sounds like Owens Mills. Sounds like Randallstown or something like that. It's a nice little place there, a little quaint place. But I'm going to tell you, they way behind. It's a smaller place, they way behind. You know, probably a great place to raise your family and stuff. I see them guys walking them down the road, you know. It's like a country town, but they're way behind. When Gina Lee was stopped in the middle of the street, he showed the one schoolhouse that they were going to. It's just like really like a store. A storefront would be a little box thing. It's the size of a row house.
Right. It's like Mayberry.
Huh?
It's like Mayberry.
Yeah.
There you go. Like Mayberry. And then so we stopped, took a picture of it. Then to turn around, Mr. Cunningham, our driver, went around it to turn around, and has a plaque and what have you out back. And they showed the plaque and all, and the date that they had on it was 1962, wasn't it, Gina? 1962. This was a schoolhouse in 1962. 1962. That's in my lifetime. I was in school in 1962. This was like a Andy Mayberry shack. They was literally educating people in this one room shack Black people at that time, shame on you. Shame on you. Unbelievable. I would have thought that was 1862. I saw it and I looked at it and I said, that's not right. That's 1862. And I looked again and I asked Mr. Ivor, he said, it's people that I know literally went here. And that's born right now. Not no about this 90 years old or nothing like that. Regular people like you and I literally went to the schoolhouse. I said, are you kidding? He said, literally. In 1962, they closed it. In 1961, there were students there going here and calling this school.
Black students.
Black only students. I said, oh my goodness. That's unbelievable. That was one of the things one of the many things that stuck out to me, but how we're still dealing with this infectious disease of racism as late as today. As late as today. We'll let Gina in. CC, what stood out to you?
First, I just wanted to say, like, comment on what you just said, that it really, when you look at that schoolhouse, it really brings home the fact that it wasn't as long ago as we think in our mind where school districts were segregated, so that was just a sobering reality to me. And just the whole being there, when we were riding in the van, Mr. Cunningham played some like little soundtracks, like when we were going to different places. Awesome. Yeah, it's like, look to your left and it's this and it's that. You see the little building or whatever. So it was kind of like guiding you through what you were seeing. And it is more of a rural place. So it was a lot of cornfields and wooded areas, and just in the context of thinking about Harriet Tubman and the journey that she took, it just, to be right in that place, it like just really puts you in the moment for me, and we all have heard the stories. We all loosely know the story of Harriet Tubman, but to actually be there, to actually be outside the farm where her family was owned and all of this, it was really humbling experience to me, because we walking around trying to record podcasts with computers and cell phones and this, that, and the third. And just to be in this place at that time was like, to me, it made me thankful. It made me thankful for the journey that she took so that we would be able to do the things that we're doing and to share the stories and to go, we visited the mural. I don't know if y'all can see my shirt, but this is this is the shirt that I bought when we were there. My husband said I was down there spending up all his money, but
show him your cup, baby. Show him your cup. Show him your cup.
Some people
just buying stuff.
Some people like to take pictures when they go places. My husband is a picture taker. But for me, I like to be in my moment, so I always bring mementos. I'll buy shirts, cups, plaques, all kind of things. But I like to immerse myself in the experience. And that's what I was able to do. And it just was humbling for me. The whole thing, all the places we went, we went to the Dorchester County Visitor Center, and they had these, they had the exhibit, but they had these plaques and stuff up about the ads that the slave owners put in the newspaper when the slaves ran away, and it was like a $200 reward, and I just, that was deep for me. So it was an awesome trip, and I advise anybody, if you ever get the chance, just take it, take your children and just go. It's, we, like I said, we loosely know the story, but it was, there you go.
There we go. Yeah.
it was really humbling and everything for me. So I
Before,
really enjoyed it. Yeah,
oh yes,
that
Gina. Yeah,
yeah,
that's one of them right there.
yeah.
Before we go to Gina, our historian who gives you all of this, I do want to add that no matter what you think you know about Harriet Tubman, you're wrong. I ain't say you're mistaken, you're wrong. When you go to this tour, you'll find out you're wrong. When they said Mr. Spellman or the gentleman that she met when he got there, started the Underground Railroad, we may talk about them things. He participated in something like that. But when you get to a place like that, they'll show you you're wrong. All these people did was piggyback on something that was already going on. That was already going on. They said that, right, Gina? They said that he participated, but they showed this intricate part was something. Now Harriet Tubman was the vehicle. She was the one bringing them. All they were doing was coming up with ideas. The railroad, what she said, when she never got off track, meant she invented her own railroad. That's why she said she never got off. Yeah, never lost a passenger. And when they show just me and Gina and Cece, and then we'll go to Gina, we're at the center. Which one was that? The place where we went to where we started the podcast with the beautiful view outside next to the water.
Yeah.
What was that?
That was the Dorchester Visitor Center.
The Dorchester Visitor Center is one of the routes that she took. Me, Gina, and Cece, and Mr. Cunningham, he took us on a little walk, a small tour over there by the pier, up under the bridge. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you how humbling it was. You would get tired walking from the visitor center down the path, up the pier to the bridge. You would literally get tired walking from the visitor center down the pier, up the path to the bridge. Can you imagine? They showed that waterway that she was next to. A human being like that's a regular person. First of all, as Gina Lee would say, could you do it? Could you do it? Absolutely not. But it would take me a couple of days to get to the end of that one little portion of a path that they must have ran through in hours. That's how mass this area is over there in Cambridge. I mean, it is swamp. There's bugs, there's mosquitoes. Any place that's infested with that much water and swamp, bugs is going to tear that ass up. It was just amazing what this individual did that was 5 feet tall. Gina tells that story when she was standing next to him, and even Gina doesn't do the story good. I post some pictures today of our trip this morning. If you look back on my page, a few pictures of Gina and Cece and them standing next to the Harriet Tubman thing. She's not only small, she's tiny. She's short, but in structure and stature, she's a tiny, small built woman. Powerful as Gina, your part?
Well, as you know, this is very near and dear to my heart. I say that I've been on this trip 5 times, but each time I have learned something new. Each time. This time, what I realized is that each time I've gone on a street named Race Street. Didn't even realize it. That was where the second stop we made, the Harriet Tubman Educational Center, was located. Race Street. And you all might remember, if you've seen previous episodes of our show, Gloria Richardson Dandridge. She is the one who started the protest in Cambridge for educational equality, for medical equality, for just equality, period. And that protest went on for 18 months.
Wow.
And the National Guard was there every single day for 18 straight months. And one of the reasons was because that city was racially divided by a street called Race Street.
Wow.
And that is where the Harriet Tubman Educational Center is located, and the mural. Take my hand. Now that really, really just blew my mind that I had been there that many times and didn't realize that I was on that street
History.
all this time. But I will say, anybody that has the time, it doesn't cost much. You can drive up there, take a lunch, or you can buy lunch when you get there. There are restaurants nearby at all the locations. But put it on your bucket list.
Yes.
It's something you need to do. It's right here in Maryland. And the fact that this little woman over here, I'm sorry, wrong side, over here, is 5 feet tall. 5 feet. And she was a spy, a nurse, a scout. She commanded a regiment of men. She freed hundreds of slaves. You know, I mean, that she was able to command their respect enough to get them to freedom. You know, that just it blows my mind that this woman, you know, and I say to myself, I have pictures also, but I'm not going to just, you know, flood our show with pictures, but you know, I'm not when I stood next to the picture and I said, I'm only 5'4", and I'm bigger and taller than she was.
You towered over her with the statue. You was not even close.
And the picture is life size. Yeah. It's life size.
Yeah.
So it really, you know, I mean, a lot of the things that are in the museum, the visitors, the Underground Railroad Visitor Center, you know, you'll discover that there was a ship named after her. You'll see a listing of her siblings. You know, I think you've heard me mention she was number 5 of 9 siblings. You know, and she lost 2 of them because they were sold, and she never saw them again when she was 5 years old. And, you know, I mean, you see the statues of her picking muskrats where she got sick. You know, they even have different weights. And when I say weights like 5 pound, 10 pound, that kind of thing, weights. So you can feel how heavy that weight was that she was struck in the head with at the store. And from that blow to the head, she was unconscious for 3 days. And when her family was scared that the master was going to sell her or you know, get rid of her because she wasn't able to work for those 3 days. But when she finally was able to stand, for the rest of her life, she had epileptic seizures. And those epileptic seizures, she called them visions from God. She said God was telling her what to do, where to go, and that she was going to be free one day. So I'm passionate about Harriet Tubman. I really, really am. I could go on and on and on about what we saw, our trip. But I ask all of you to we'll put the information up. I'll find it and put the information up so that you can contact Mr. Cunningham, maybe, or drive up yourself. It either way. But Mr. Cunningham does an excellent job of giving you the information, and that's the thing I think that really makes his business stand out from just going on your own.
Right.
Because you could go and just walk through and be like, oh, I seen it, but you'll miss something. Take my word for it, you'll miss something.
Yeah, very, very excellent job, Gina. Y'all can see Gina is passionate about this, but one of the things I thought back about too, remember Gina in the end when Trey Styles, that's my godson there. How you doing, Trey? Trey is an example of people reading the banner. I was talking to Trey and he told me that, Godfather, I need to look for a plumber. Do you know a plumber? I said, I'm going to check and see. He said, yeah, because the guy came over my house and did all my electrical work. Shout out to Swift Electric, which is my great nephew, Frank. But he said, yeah, he said he your nephew. And I said something. And he said, yeah, I didn't know. I said, where'd you get the number from? He said, I got it from the show. I saw the banners up on the show. I saw I needed an electrician. I got it from the show. He said, Name's going to get him to put in a panel box, but he got it from there. CC pushes that everybody read the banners down there.
It's not just scrolling down there for decoration. These are all Black and minority owned businesses. And these are businesses that we have personal knowledge of and have personally used. Our company is down there, Party Marty's Moon Bounces, Swift Electric. It's a whole bunch of them down there. We got Gina Lee down there with her paparazzi jewelry. She gave me a beautiful pair of earrings the other day when we went on the trip.
They were nice.
So use those businesses.
And the person right there, Trey Styles. When y'all see me with that gray hat or some of them hats that you see to have the T and the big S going through it, it's really nice. That's one of my go-to hats, my go-to outfit. That's his line of clothes. Trey Styles, you'll see him advertise. His business comes across the bottom there. Those tough hats with that embroidery popping out there. When you see Brian Samuels over there, when you see CC with the mugs and all this kind of stuff like that, at our cookouts with the aprons that say "Go Ravens" and all that, Brian Samuels makes that stuff. All these businesses are advertised down there. Carol and Tiffany Smith, we have these businesses over there. Get a house from Sheila. And we got all these things going on.
And all the people, we have some people that stick right in here with us every show. And guys, if you have a business that you like us to put on the banner, just text Maurice and let him know what it is, and I'll be more than happy to put it down there, because that's what we're about, community and helping each other.
410-800-6628. 410-800-6628. What did Annie just say?
Can you put up the eyeglass place y'all was talking about? Because I just got some glasses that's not working for my eyes. Somebody told you who they are, Annie. Here we go.
No, she said she wants some good glasses, not bad glasses. I think she's saying she wants to go to. You want to go to Optical Fair?
Optical Fair.
In the Ingleside Shopping Center, right across from Sam's, right, baby?
Right there where in the Ingleside Shopping Center where the Safeway is. Route 40.
What is it, Gina?
Ingleside and Route 40.
Ingleside and Route 40 is Optical Fair. Tell Daphne that Party Marty and Cece sent. Tell her give me a discount on the next pair. Andy, I'm gonna tell you something though, Andy. When you go up in there, take your wallet, take your purse, baby, because the glass is gonna be a little pricey because they got some slick. They got I'm more fleet. You see my eyes? My wife dresser look like a who's who of glasses. You feel me? It's all gotta be Gucci, Porsche, and all that kind of stuff. But they got an array of styles to choose from, and you're gonna get you something nice. But even better than that, Andy, I'm gonna tell you, this doctor is a beast. Whenever you finish, your eyes will have the right prescription on them. So good luck with that.
You're welcome, Annie.
Hey, listen. One last thing before we move away from Harriet Tubman. Man, real talk. This is a powerful tour. When Gina says she's been on there 5 times, to me, that's borderline insane. I mean, to do what? I ain't been to 5 Oreo games, 5 Ravens games. Why would you know? This is a different thing. I went there. CC, tell them you cannot get through this information in 10 visits. Y'all know that God has melted my heart, something else that I'm working on, you know what I mean? But water will come out your eyes when you start watching this knowledge. And some of these exhibits, the one with just the front portion of the ship sticking out, when they're reaching out, grabbing the slaves, that when she came over to free all those slaves, what was it, like 700, over 700, you said, Gina?
At the Combahee River.
What was it called again?
The Combahee River.
The Combahee River. They wanted freedom so bad. But they was pulling out, they just dove in the water. They had burnt their boat. I'm going out for it. They was the boat,
That's
they still dripping away from shore, going out. This is an ocean, a river. They didn't care. They was done. And they showed them just reaching over there, giving them a hand, pulling them on board.
You know exactly. What I mean? And it just make your mind go to all the freedoms that we have that we just take for granted. You know, we just I mean, this world is not perfect. The system that we live in is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. So don't get me wrong and think that I'm saying that we should just settle for what we have, because I always believe that people should strive for something better. But just to look back at this period in time is just it's just so amazing, because you know, we just like you said, these people were willing to just risk it all. You know, they had to just go for what they believed in by any means necessary. You know, if they died in the process, then so be it. But to them, dying trying to be free was better than living as a slave. You know, so
and that's what she told them. She said that's why she carried a gun. She said, "You, if you go with me, you cannot turn back. You will either die a slave, or you will be free."
Right?
There's only 2 choices. There's only 2 choices.
My friend from work, Annette Stanley, thank you for chiming in. We really appreciate you. That's one of our good friends, and everybody that's banging in there. This thing, but we will go on, and I just wanted to let y'all know the most educational thing that I got out of it was this tour is about American history. This ain't got nothing to do with a black tour. These Caucasians fill this tour.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We saw way more Caucasian people than we saw people of color in these at all of our stops.
And if you ever stand there, they are standing there asking questions like none other. This is an educational tour. This ain't got nothing to do with black and white. This is American history, what we went to see.
And let me tell you,
going next.
When we went to the visitor center, you know, I got a habit of wandering off. They show short movies and stuff in some of these locations, and everybody else was looking at the short film, but I was walking around, and I stood next to this Caucasian lady, and she was standing there looking at that the picture where Harriet Tubman, the life-size statue on the bench where she was sitting down and you could sit next to her. She was bawling like a baby. You know, she was just crying. You know, this is the type of thing that can evoke emotion from you that you didn't even know that you had. And just that scene right there, just to look at this lady just looking at this stuff, just crying, that was moving for me. I'm a crybaby too, so I'll probably
shed what? I'm gonna tell you before. I'm sorry, Maurice. I don't mean to cut you off. But before, before y'all came into the Harriet Tubman Educational Center, I was about ready to lose it myself when I saw that classroom
That's what I was
full
going to say.
of young people. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they were what, like 11, 12,
Yeah.
9, 10. All of them from, I think they were from a camp or
They
something.
were from a camp or Big Mama's daycare or something like that.
And all of them were, I mean, glued to the screen looking at the presentation about Harriet Tubman. They were glued. I was just, I said,
Floored.
wow, wow,
Gina's word is, I was floored.
wow.
Yeah, I
All I
mean,
thought to myself, I felt like my mother.
Mm-hmm.
I always knew how passionate she was about education, but that moment right there, I realized exactly what was in her heart when she would see a young person take in information. And
Mm-hmm.
something that, because once you get information, no one can ever take that away from you,
Never.
you
the
know?
most
So,
the most heinous joke that they always say, and I bring it up all the time. I don't care whose feelings it hurt. If you want to hide something from a black person, what do, y'all?
Put it
put
in
it
the
in a
book.
book.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Hey, good morning, Rhonda Williams, who was Rhonda's her maiden name is Rhonda Samuels. That's Trey's uncle. I mean, that's Trey's aunt and Brian's Samuel's sister. That we were just talking about you, Rhonda. Let me tell you something. We have something on the show that's a tribute to you that we always say we talk about. And Mr. John, rest in peace, Mr. John. We're going to be doing a shout out to your father, Rhonda, and on Carol's, what is it, Carol Turner's birthday, Gina, what we're doing?
Right. I just thought maybe it might be fun for all of us and interesting to do my show on the 20th, which is Carol's birthday, Carol Gibson Turner, her birthday, at Druid Hill Park on the hill across from the
So
pool. I mean, we can't get in the pool, so
that's what we'll be doing. We're going to do the little game that everybody else does. We're going to let some balloons go, just talk about some things, we would a little thing, the format that we came up with, wishes. We're going to have some balloons, a lot of white balloons and stuff will be there, balloons of colors with some magic markers. We're going to just
we ain't
let you
gonna
come
do
up with
balloons are bad for the environment.
balloons.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Gina,
my daughter
if
Becky is going to
if this
jail
man
then.
say something about a balloon, if I was outside right now, I will show you. You know, his daughter's Tiffany. Her
I,
birthday was yesterday,
I heard.
and they had a brunch here on Sunday. A brunch, a dinner, a lunch, whatever you want. Whatever kind of brunch starts at 6 o'clock in the evening. That's what kind of brunch they had. And the running joke is about Becky with these balloons. So it's always balloons.
They get ready to ban the release of
That's
balloons.
what Rhonda said. It's against the law to let balloons go.
It's get ready to be a fine if you
Well,
if they can pinpoint where they came from. So I'm just
well,
letting
that's
you know.
I was okay. Yeah, they need to ban murder. Let's say let's let everybody lock up everybody to let go of balloon. But if you just kill two people, kumbaya, kumbaya, whatever. We dealing with a time where our city's murdering everybody, and we want to lock people up with some balloons. But moving right along, y'all, we get ready to get into our show. We want everybody to understand that we don't have a format over here. We talk about what we think that everyone wants to hear. And today we started off on a passionate topic that Gina Lee has started off with us way before this conversation, Harriet Tubman. So she has really introduced, at least I can only speak for myself and my wife, she has introduced Harriet Tubman into our hearts. I've been know who she was, but I didn't have a clue on who she was. But she has put
Right.
her under our hearts now. This is an awesome person. So let's get into the show. Okay, without further ado, our historian, Gina Lee. Y'all, Gina Lee has also come from the dentist, so she's not as fleet of verses as she usually is, our historian. But I apologize for telling her that, Gina, we still need you. Just do the best you can because we can't make it without you. Trey Styles, my godson, awesome line of clothes you have, y'all. You look at them banners and get some of them people. CC, after this is over, don't forget the one thing that we're going to make sure to push this Friday, y'all. This Friday, Tony Split on the corner of Edmondson Avenue and Poplar Grove. Edmondson Avenue and Harlem Avenue, Poplar Grove and Lanville up there. They're blocking the street. They're setting everything off. You know what I mean? Doing that thing right there. Back to school book giveaway. It's going to be huge. Party Marty's Moon Bounce will be there putting up this thing. This is our event that we usually put on at Carroll Park. Tony and I have been doing this thing like 20 years. Been way back in the day, started on Pennsylvania Avenue where he started with his grassroots. You know what I mean? His uncle, Mr. Brown and them have been doing this forever, and they back out here buying again. So he said, I'm going back to where it all started, in my neighborhood, in the grassroots. We like the bells and whistles, Druid Hill Park and Carroll Park and all that kind of stuff, but we going right back to Poplar Grove and Emerson Avenue, where I used to be on them godforsaken corners, either hitting or buying drugs. So come out there and see what we doing. Mr. Tony from Tony's Trucking will be out there putting up the tents. Sheila Thomas is out there volunteering, dropping off some school supplies. Me and Mad Max, Carl Evans will be out there doing whatever we can to help out. Y'all get out there and come support what you're doing. It's free. The barbershop right there is giving away free haircuts, and CC and myself from our panel have decided to put out $100 donation. We're going what's called teamwork half. It's something else we're going to do half. If a haircut is $20, we're going to put up 10. You put up 10. If it's $10 and you put up 5, we'll put up 5. We are helping hand. We're not getting your kid's haircut. We ain't doing it for free. We're helping you out. So get up there if you want some help. It'll help. CC?
Yeah, absolutely. So I put the banner up, everybody, so that you'll know where it's right there. I put the banner up so you'll know when and where. And, we just encourage everybody to get involved. If you can help, if you could go half on 2 haircuts, there we go. Rhonda Williams, 20 from her. That's what I'm talking about. Right. Every little bit helps, right, guys. Every little bit helps.
That's what I'm saying.
Because we all know what the problem is, but the question is, do we all want to be part of the solution? Because you either one or the other. You either part of the problem or you part of the solution. So, that's what we got to do. So we know what we need to do, and we need to get out here and do it. School is about to start, and it makes a young person feel good to go to school looking and feeling fresh and ready to learn. So anything that anybody can do, whether it's donate some school supplies, whatever you have to do. There we go. Frank got 100.
There we go. There we go.
Trey said he'll do 33. There we go.
Great. That's my family, everybody. What we're doing. Hey, y'all, you can always get in touch with me. 410-800-6628. Once
and
again,
Rhonda, you want the Cash App, you can send it to Maurice. It's just put in the Cash App search, just put his phone number in, and his Cash App will come up.
410-800-6628 is my Cash App. There ain't nobody out there playing games with my Cash App, and nothing is my phone number. And let me tell you something, if you are playing games with anything that has to do with this podcast, or anything that has to do with the job we doing, I forewarn you, I'm an ex-dope fiend jailbird from West Baltimore who gave my life to Christ, but I'm not playing with you. So don't ever find out about me and Tony splitting them the hard way. We out here trying to make a difference. We try to do the best we can. Do not be part of anything that's taking advantage of anybody, because we are not playing with you. Hey, let's get into our story right now. Once again, at my Cash App is my phone number, 410-800-6628. I want to make sure everybody know the money will go exactly where it's supposed to go, not no portions.
That's right.
Put the dollar symbol in front of it.
No, just my don't get confused. My phone number. Just dial my phone number. Don't everybody knows the phone number. It's on every episode. Party Marty's Moon Bounce is 410-800-6628. Don't try to get caught with this. I put it in Party Marty, then that's on you and your dumb self. My phone number is my Cash App. And it'll get to Tony Split, it'll get to the powers to be.
And guess what? BB just put up that her funds was a little tight right now. And we definitely understand that. But we just asking that those who can, do whatever you can do, no matter how big or small, it makes a difference. So, we're not asking people to overextend themselves and do what they can't do. This is not what we do.
BB was just now. BB is the reason why we went on the Harriet Tubman tour.
Absolutely.
From her volunteering at the last at Dr. Ted's what was it? Food giveaway.
Right. And she out there.
She out there first. Matter of fact, she was there before them. Remember, she's funny. She's out there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, Rick want to know what we collecting for. Tell him, baby.
Rick, we're having a back to school giveaway that we always do. We've been doing this for quite some time. I like to use the term decades. A couple of decades I've been doing this back to school giveaway with Tony Split of Emerson and Poplar Grove. And what we do is we give away back to school book bags and things of that nature, books and supplies. We give out free haircuts. The lady will be there. I guess, I don't know if they'll be. Well, we won't be testing for the COVID, but matter of fact, we'll see if we can get some shots out there too. But we do anything that has to do with back to school, Rick. That's what's up. And thank you for always chiming in. Rick's my good neighbor. But yeah, that's what we're doing. Once again, my phone number is my Cash App, 410-800-6628. I don't play with anybody's money. I don't need it. And we don't take anything out of anything or a portion or nothing like that. This money goes straight to whoever's having their cars. Right. Gina Lee always has a cause. That guy with the car wash is a cause. Dr. Sutton, when he does this thing giveaway, that's a cause. Right now, this is back to school, and we just by putting the word out here, the podcast we've done, I'm looking at $200 in donations that people have just now put up. Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up.
Y'all are awesome. Y'all are awesome.
Each one teach one. This is really.
That's right. And you're going to change some child's life just with that little bit you did. So,
and a haircut on the first day of school makes a difference. Thank you, Rhonda. Hey, y'all, let's let Gina do her thing. All right, y'all, as we do, where we going to segue in, as I segue into Gina, everybody, there's a lot of people that told me that they only chime into the show, y'all, because they want to hear the segue. Is
that right?
I turned the show off, Jack. You know what I mean? Stanley, that's my segue. In case you new to this, Miss Stanley, watch this. You know what I mean?
Segue in.
My segue. This is what I do. I say, Gina, how you doing? What's your topic today? Let's talk.
Well, good morning, everyone. This is Gina Lee for Simply Us. And my topic today is someone you probably never heard of unless you are a sports aficionado. This person's name is Frederick Wayman Duke Slater. Frederick Slater was born in Illinois. This is a picture of him. And he was the first Black person to play in the NFL.
Whoa.
Okay.
Even I didn't know that.
Now, let me tell you, he was born in 1898, December 9th, like I said, in Illinois. And Illinois is not a predominantly Black state. So his father was a minister and his mother was a housekeeper. And He wanted to play football in school in his early years, but his father didn't want him to because he was afraid that he would get hurt. So he begged him and begged him. He said, "Please, Daddy, I want to play." So his father was like, I really don't think it's a good idea. He went on a hunger strike till his father gave in and said, "Okay, I'll let you give it a shot."
That would have worked in my
The
house.
other
Miss
thing,
Kate would have let you starve. She wasn't a kid.
the
My
other
mom would have let
thing,
you starve.
the other thing was back then, if you wanted to play, you had to provide your own shoes, your own cleats, and your own helmet. Well, they were very expensive, and his son, Frederick, and he wanted to give him these things, but they couldn't afford them. So he told him, "You make a choice, helmet or shoe." Now, being so he was such a big growing boy, he had really big feet, and they had to order his shoes from out of state.
Right.
So his father paid for his shoes, but he couldn't afford the helmet. So this man played football with no helmet, while the white boys had helmets. Now, back then, the helmets weren't hard like they are now, but they were very thick leather. And I mean, they could do some damage if you really, came at somebody with them. He got the nickname Duke, believe it or not, from the family dog. And the name stuck with him all his life. Well, he played 10 seasons. And every time he played the entire game. He was never taken out of the game to rest or anything. He always had to play all of the games, all of the time. Now, like I said, he played 10 seasons, but then there became what was called a color ban. And the color ban ran from 1934 to 1945, where no black players could play. That was it. But then that was 11 years. So then when the ban was started, believe it or not, at the time, the coach of the Washington Redskins. He's the one that enacted the ban.
Snake.
And so he went on to college. He went on to Illinois State, Iowa State. And while there, he took up law, of all things, and graduated with a degree from both colleges, a degree in law.
Hands up, hands up, hands up.
Wait a minute. This was really going to, Ned, I know you've heard of people that take the bar exam and maybe have to take it 2 or 3 times.
Correct.
He passed it at both universities on the first attempt.
Okay.
One more. Hands up, hands up.
So, in addition to his record of being All-American on the football field, he was also now a practicing attorney. Well, later on, he started, his football career was the one that started to kind of outshadow his legal career. And he started blocking for quarterbacks like Jim Thorpe, um, Reg Grange, Ernie Nevers, and Fritz Pollard. Now, Fritz Pollard was also a black football player. He went on to be the first black football coach in the NFL. And so in 1929, Ernie Nevers was the quarterback on the team he was playing for. And Ernie Nevers would follow him because he was so big, he would break through the line and he would follow him. And Ernie Nevers set a record of 40 points in one game with six rushing touchdowns. That record stands today.
Wow.
Thanks
From
to,
when?
Huh?
When did he do that?
1929.
100 years later, it stands today.
It stands today. So,
Run tell that.
So, like I said, you know, he had his law degree, and so he became the second black judge in Chicago's history.
Wow.
Jesus.
And when they voted him in, he was voted in with 900, almost 1 million votes, 900,000 votes.
Wow.
So
Good morning, Al.
the thing that was really shocking to his family was his niece. She was a professional person and she had retired, and she thought, well, one of her cousins was being inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So she went to the ceremony, and while there, she expected to see the bust of her uncle. But she didn't. So she questioned, why wasn't he there? Well, the Pro Football Hall of Fame had omitted him. The Hall of Fame was established in 1963. His name was purposefully omitted because of
1963 in our lifetime. Still this prejudice stuff.
Right. Well, I mean, you got to think 1963, they were still hanging. They were still lynching people in 63.
Jesus Christ.
So he was not inducted until 1967. See, over time, because he had his law degree to fall back on, he kind of just, oh well, not, he didn't really expect to be recognized. But so he kind of fell off the radar. And then his niece pushed for him to be recognized. And so in July of 2021, this year,
wow,
he was honored at Iowa State University, Hinnock Stadium, where the field was renamed Duke Slater Field. They also named the houses that the students stay in. They also named one of those near the stadium after him. And his niece states that she's very grateful that he was remembered. And she was telling a story about the fact that when she went off to college, she, of course, coming from Iowa, she had heard about the South, but she didn't really know how much hatred existed in the South. So when she went with some friends to protest down at Tuskegee University and saw the hatred in these people, it scared her. And she called the family. Well, she called her uncle, and she said, "I'm scared. Can you come get me?" And he said, "Don't worry, we'll come get you." And they did. But he sat her down, and she said, "I'll never forget the conversation." And he said, "First, tell me what happened." And she said he was such a good listener. And he told her, she said, after she finished, all he said was, not all, but the thing that she remembers most was, "You got to keep your eyes open. Always keep your eyes open." So she said that, she being so she was not really around during his judicial career, she knew that he was elected, and he served on the circuit court. He served on the highest court that Iowa had there, and he said he always told that, other judges felt like he was giving Black defendants not as harsh treatment, but he always told the person, "I'm gonna give you a break, but if you disappoint me, you'll be gone away for a long time." So very few came back.
Yeah.
Well, he died in 19, I'm sorry, 1986. I'm sorry, excuse me, 1966. And his friend, Fritz Pollard, who I said went on to be a Black coach, was by his bedside. And, the thing that his niece says, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame 3 years after his death. And she really wished that he had had the chance to be acknowledged for his contributions.
And how
Well,
long did you say the Hall of Fame had been in existence? I'm
since
sorry for.
1963.
Okay.
So, she was just, and this man is, I mean, really a real cornerstone when we look at football today. He really set the bar for sports, NFL sports. So when I read the story, and I said, this man began playing with no helmet. I mean, it really kind of shocked me that he would even try to go out there with the rest of them and not even have a helmet on. But if I can bring this picture up, maybe you can see.
Oh
This is,
wow.
oh shoot. Oh, and I'm sorry. But
Take
that
your
was
time.
on the bottom of the pile. Um,
And that's just once again an example of those little things that we take for granted now.
right, right,
Or football, we automatically helmet, cleats. That's an
right,
automatic.
right.
But just to
Here,
hear that and know that it didn't start that way.
this is him
Oh,
right here
Mm.
at the bottom. Oops, at the bottom of the pile.
wow. I want
No
to let
help.
y'all know,
No help.
uh, Gina,
Yep.
is that it?
Yes.
Okay, I never want to cut Gina off because Gina taught me that, didn't she, CC? Can I
Yes, she
finish?
did.
Can I finish? She told me that. You know what I mean? Can I finish? I'll always remember that. Gina,
Yeah.
hands up, panel, hands up again, y'all.
And I
Gina,
just
Gina
wanted to
Lee.
say, BB said Gina never ceases to amaze us. I just want y'all to know that when Gina do these topics, you see we sitting up here staring. It's not fake because we don't know what she gonna talk about. We don't have any idea about these people any more than you do. Gina just tell me the name to put up there, and I may, I'm a sneak researcher, so I'll research things on the slide. But Gina does such a good job of bringing those stories to life until I just throw the name up there and sit back and listen like that, like everybody else.
And I'm gonna tell you something. That right there says everything I was gonna say. My wife just now finished saying it. Gina Lee does not always come up with the popular topic. She does not always agree with everybody. She told Cece I have an opinion. You know what I mean? She told Rick I see it that way. Could be the Republicans, could be the Democrats. I may disagree. One thing about Gina, she doesn't just follow the norm because she's done her research. You know what I mean? My wife knows what she's talking about because she's done some research. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't do a bunch of research, but I'm gonna tell you what I do. I listen when I get here.
God
I
gave you
listen when
two
I get
ears
here.
and one mouth for a reason.
Yeah, that's right. I listen when I get here. All we know is how great Jackie Robinson was because he was the first person to play baseball, the first black in the Negro League, the first person to make the majors. We just now found out somebody was playing football, the first black football player, who also, y'all, later on turned out to be a judge, a prominent judge who passed 2 bars the first time. See, we know how hard everybody out there in the mental health field, these some of the smartest people you ever seen. Get over there and tell RNs have every requirement to be an RN and fail that test 100 times, so they just give up. They say that the bar is so hard they don't know anybody that passes it on the first or second time. You know what I mean? Now you talk about somebody passing, but it's 2 separate bars from 2 separate colleges, and people don't know this about the bar. They say it changes yearly. It's not the
Because he
same
had
bar
to
that
get
you
it in
know.
each state.
Say it again.
He had to get it in each state in order to practice.
It's a total different bar. It's total different questions. You feel me? I mean, this man is just a genius and stuff, and he just come out. Remember, he came up poor, a PK preacher's kid. Came up poor. You decide whether you wear a helmet or you decide whether you have shoes on. Come on,
Right,
man. Which one of our kids do that? Our
right.
kids decide which glove they're gonna wear. Are you gonna wear your Pumas to the game today, or you gonna have on your Versace cleats?
Hey,
Come on, man.
Donnie.
We make it so easy on our kids. Yeah, see.
I was saying, hey, Donnie.
Hey Donnie, what's up, Donnie? How you doing, my friend? Donnie Glover is the person, the vehicle that gave us this position to get in this position. So are you the Donnie Glover? Did you just go off and invent a podcast and go off and get your own accolades? And I'm Channel 11's political analysis analyst. You know what I mean? Are you the author of Simply Us? Are you the author of Unapologetically Black or the Black New Wall Street and say I learned everything I could and now everything is about me and we done? Or did you go off and pass it on? This podcast is a subsidiary of BlackUSA.News, a subsidiary of BeMoreNews.com. He taught some people how to do some stuff. That's where we are now. Somebody showed us. He didn't show me. He showed Cece. Every time he got on there, Donnie would cut through me like a knife sometime a day. Said, "Let me speak to your wife." Right? See, let me talk to your wife. Paul, all you gotta do is do that. I said, "Man, Donnie," I said, "Let me speak to your wife." Because that's what he got to do. He got to talk to Cece because I'm not good at that. But I'm good at talking. Donnie, thank you. Welcome very much to everything. And to anybody that doesn't know, be somebody that teaches people. Be somebody important. Be Donnie Glover. Hands up for Donnie Glover, y'all. Hands up for BlackUSA.News. Hands up for BeMoreNews.com. Teach people how to do these things. Donnie Glover is also the first Ike White Award winner from the great James Mosier Little League Association, which through listening at his show taught us back a long time ago, is the oldest surviving Black in the country. If you want to find out anything else about James Mosier or Little League Association, go back to some episodes when Gina Lee on Did You Know started her first podcast, when she launched Did You Know? It's done from James Mosier Elementary School, that is now the Billie Holiday School. And we had clips and inserts from Michael Singletary, Mr. Neal, and Eric Davis. Mr. Tony was there over there on the field. James Mosier, the oldest surviving Black Little League in the country. You know what I mean? Right here in your neighborhood in West Baltimore. Gina always says on Wheeler. It's on Wheeler and Mosier, because that's the front door. Gina would go through the front door. I ain't never been to the front door probably 3 times in my life, and I went there for 6 years. We came up through the side door.
Remember, you said that door is closed now.
That door is closed off now. You know, they say it's beautiful anyway. But as I'm saying, you can learn so much about watching just these podcasts. You can learn so much, you know what I mean? Listen to Donnie Glover talk. You can learn so much if you just close your, what CC say?
I don't know that.
Alexa says she don't know that.
Yeah, that's Alexa didn't know that. Donnie, you said something. Gina, y'all said something that even Alexa don't know. She tough. But anyway, hey, look, let me jump in with my topic. First of all, excellent topic, Gina. Let me get off the beaten path now. This is my turn. Gina said something that made me think. My topic is about being aware of your situation and circumstances. What did that guy's father told him or something like that? You need to be aware of your surroundings, your situation and circumstance. That's all she remembered. She knew she was afraid somebody came and got her, but they told her, what I need you to do is be aware. That's one of my many shortcomings. I'm not a great listener. My wife can talk, a person can talk, but I got to get my little 2 cents in there. Rest in peace. My Waters Taste, my father. You always got to get your 2 cents in there. I do. Playing double dutch, waiting on your turn to jump in. Don't be me. Don't be me. Listen to some people. Learn to listen, you'll learn. I'm going to tell y'all out there in the streets. I see you walking along. You see what I got on? I'm burning up today. I got on my Oreo hoodie. Shout out to my nephew Brandon with this. But let me tell y'all something. Let me show you how this thing goes. Watch this. It's Oreo game. Watch this. I have a smooth outfit. Got on my little hoodie. I'm out. You know what I mean? Hoodie on. Demonstrating and party. Okay. Take that off. You got one of them headphones on. You walking over there with the headphone, got the little piece in your ear. Got your hoodie on. And you always got this in your hand. You text. You're doing Facebook, TikTok, ding dong. Boy, you're a victim. You don't even know it. Boy, you're a victim. You're not aware of your surroundings. Come up behind you, knock your damn brains out. I'm on the side of you. I can knock your brains out. Look at you young people. Y'all walk around here now all the time. You ain't aware of nothing you going on. You keep on walking about, walk across the street like ain't nobody gonna hit me. You got your head down like somebody owe you something. You're afraid of them. First of all, I'd have had a beer or two in me. You know what I mean? I have a weak eye. You get what I'm saying? And I'm running late. And if I hit you, I know I had a beer in me. I know good and well I might get locked up. So I'm gonna keep going after I hit your dumb ass. Because you walking out in the middle of Liberty Road, 2 o'clock in the morning, dressed in all black, with your head down, got some damn hoodie on. Open your eyes. Crossing the street, cross at the corner. Stop always taking for granted and stuff like that, everything. Oh yeah, that's where you hit me, I'm gonna sue you. Maybe your mother, maybe your parents might get some money out of me, maybe one of your kids. Well, when I hit your dumb ass, you done. These people out here now, everybody riding around, y'all. Half the people don't have no license. What did that boy over there get killed for? They said they pulled him over because his tags were expired. I got cars that I'm driving right now that the tags are out. A year old. The tags been out a year. Can't nobody even get to the DMV. Man, people, listen. Be prepared. Deal with your surroundings. Unprepared. A victim. Prepared. That's it. Here we go. Hoodie. Phone in your hand, head down, TikTok, Facebooking. You're a victim. Somebody come up, knock your brains out. Simple as that. You have made yourself a victim, people. You're a victim. Pay attention to what you're doing. What did that lady say after the people came and got her? She was over there scared to death. What did the boy go? What did her uncle, whoever it was, go off and tell her? Pay attention to your surroundings. Be aware, so much of that going on. I leave and go to work down Liberty Road. I live in Randallstown. Going down at 10 o'clock, I'm always running late. No matter no matter what time I get up.
This is true.
We running there, we pushing it. You feel me? And you were walking across the street, pitch black, dark as I don't know what. Come across Liberty Road, jaywalk in the middle of the street with a hoodie on and a phone in your hand, talking about, you hit me, I'm going to sue you. Be aware, maybe your parents will. Because if I hit you, you're probably going to be dead. Don't let me be driving Cece's truck, that Range Rover. My wife got a Range Rover. That thing so high up in the air. That Range Rover hit you. Your eyes is level with it. It don't hit you way up here. You ain't hitting the side of the bum and spin off. That Range Rover that Cece drives, my wife's Range Rover, is this tall up in the air. You down there at your neck if the grill hits you. Pay attention. Be aware of your surroundings. Pay attention. If Gina's talking, she's telling you something that you may be able to use later on, pay attention. Cece's over there learning how to do this podcast because Donnie showed her, putting up some lights and stuff. Pay attention. Learn to listen. If you listen, you learn. Pay attention. Come on, y'all. Pay attention. The pandemic is out there. You're not getting your shot. You may die. Pay attention. If they're giving out free shots at the stadium and all you got to do is walk down there, you don't need nothing but any type of form of ID. Pay attention. Come on, y'all. Pay attention. We in 1963. In 1963, they were down there in Cambridge, Maryland with a one-room black schoolhouse. In 1963, Gina and I were already in school in 63. We were already in school in 63 in this big giant mass building, James Mosher, Billie Holiday now. This big building. How in the world would I imagine anybody going to school in a one-room schoolhouse while I was there? I thought maybe back in the 1800s. Prejudice is still running rampant to this day. I'll bring this home, though. It's not a black show. It's not a white show. This is an informative show. To all you sick individuals out there, though, don't ever get it twisted what I'm saying. Y'all know, if you're black, you know too many sorry black people. Too many sorry black people not to like white people. Rick is our next door neighbor. Cece, my wife, has said, stop always calling your next door neighbor Rick, the white guy, Caucasian guy. But my next door neighbor is a Caucasian guy. He's the coolest neighbor in the history of neighbors. Nicest guy you ever want to meet. Plays in a band. Don't complain. All he told me one thing. Don't park what in front of his house, see?
Don't park that big ugly box truck in front of Rick's house. You heard him.
Yeah, he said, park the Range Rover there. I got a Jaguar. Park the Jaguar. I park that there. Don't keep putting that big dump truck in front of my house. That's all he asks as a neighbor. Except for that, everything else, what is it say, Cece? I don't care. Right. I don't care. Hey, we setting up fireworks. I don't care. Rick, house on fire. I don't care. Except for that, he's the best neighbor in the world. But y'all, real talk, back to what we're saying. If you are against a person because of their race, if you are against police, my son is a police officer, sheriff. If you're my youngest son, he ain't just running around become a cop. He's got a college degree. He's a smart guy. He thinks that he's saving the world. He's going on over there doing his thing, get ready to get married, got an awesome wife, school teacher. Fiance. No. Yeah, also fiance's getting married. That's what he's doing. Yeah, so she's still his fiance getting married this year. If you got a problem with white people, if you got a problem with police, if you got a problem with a person because their sexual origin, who they want to go to bed with in their bedroom that's never made any advancements that you. If you got a problem with Party because he's loud, this is my voice. This is my voice. I'm never ignorant, never obnoxious, never vulgar. I talk loud. And the problem is not them. The problem is your dumb ass. The problem is your dumb ass. If you've run around still today with being prejudiced, you're sick. You're sick. The Caucasian persons that were down there at Harriet Tubman. I heard this one lady say, I said, this ain't got nothing to do with black people. She said, no, sir, this is American history.
That's the same lady that was. That's the same lady that was crying before y'all
She
walked
was
up.
standing there crying. I said, this ain't got nothing to do with black and white. You know what I mean? She said, this is just history. Them people was over there. Gina Lee, out of all the stuff that we saw, all these murals going on, all this fantastic stuff, everything that was going on the trip, Gina Lee was never as fascinated, as excited about anything as she was when she saw them children in the classroom. They had a camp there. They had a camp there that was teaching classroom. Gina Lee was so ecstatically. She talked about that. CC, did you catch her? She talked about that all the way on the ride, all the way home. She was fascinated about somebody being taught some history. About somebody being taught some history. So I'm gonna wind this down before we get to CC and her thing. But I want to tell you, y'all, be aware of your surroundings. Pay attention. You are a victim. You're a victim. You can't see on either side. You got your head down looking at the phone. Man, come on, man. What games you playing? You couldn't do that on the penal institutions where I was at. Somebody gonna knock your damn brains out.
Right.
Learn something, y'all. Learn something from the show. Okay, y'all. Here we go now. And here comes the other part. Cece's part, Gina. Here we go. Here we go. My wife.
I want to know exactly what it is that you're trying to say. First of all,
my wife is current events. And I'm gonna tell you something. If y'all don't know, what's that boy? I think it was Heavy D said, on the news, bad news is all the news you'll ever see. My wife, she sits over there. I don't look at nothing that she look at on TV. We literally now won't even be in the same room. I gotta tell you all the time when you listen, when I tell you, babe, please turn it down. When you listen at the news, my wife see research current events.
But let me tell you. No, I ain't gonna let you finish that. I ain't gonna let you finish that because let me tell y'all something. This is a man. Most of y'all on here are people that know my husband. I love him till the death of me, but he's an agitator because he will come into the room. Now, mind you, we have 9 televisions in this house. 9. We have so many that the cable won't even. We gotta have 2 master boxes for the cable. TV in every room except for the bathroom. This man, our routine has always been, huh?
What was that noise? That beating? You don't know? Nothing. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I sit in the living room and watch TV. He usually watches the TV in the bedroom. Now, when I go in the bedroom, I never try to take over the TV because he was there first. If it's too loud, I hate with a passion Westerns, even if the Westerns are on. I don't say change the channel. I don't say anything. My husband could learn a lot from me because he will come out, and as soon as he come out, why the TV so loud? Oh my God, you watching these court shows again. You should be depressed. By the time he get finished downing everything that I'm looking at on TV, my peaceful moment of looking at TV has now turned to irritation. So I know some of y'all out there know exactly what I'm talking about. And all of y'all that's friends of my husband, Gina got a good way of getting him straight. Get this man straight for me, y'all. Tell him just 2 things that he need to do. Mind his business and leave me alone. That's it.
Do you know how hard it was for me? That's why I'm not a good listener, Gina. See how hard it was for me to take that? Mm-hmm. See how hard it was for me to take that? That was really something. But here's the new me. Watch this, watch this, watch this. Yes, dear.
Yeah, right.
Did y'all see Party? Did you see Party? Don't let Big Ham, don't let 3D, don't let Ham, Deloach, the Shields, or my nephew Frank hear me say that, Jack. They say Party. You impact chump. You know what I mean? But I know I'm getting ready to go out and I need my wife to fix my clothes or whatever.
Just certain things that you do just to keep the peace. You know what
Hey,
I'm
y'all.
saying? When I go in that bedroom and I see them westerns on, in my husband's own words, it cut through me like a knife. That in 2021, somebody is watching black and white movies on a color television. It killed my whole soul. But I don't say a word because that's what he want to watch. I let him watch it, but he can't. I like to watch Judge Judy, court shows, all of that. That's my guilty pleasure, and I ain't bothering a soul. My husband will walk right in the room. There she go, watching them depressing court shows again. Always watching somebody go to jail. Now everybody know nobody goes to jail on small claims court. Everybody know he even been on one of those shows, so he even know they don't even lose money. The show paying. It's just entertainment. But he can't let a sister live. Can't
Hey,
do it.
let me tell y'all something before we get into CC. And CC, you know we gotta look at our time too. Hey, listen, let me tell you something before I get into CC. If you don't know out there in podcast land, let me tell y'all right now, you are not the baby's daddy. You are not the baby's daddy. Every time they turn around, they get on that show. Murray said, "Look at his eyes." She said, "That's his eyes. Look, he got his eyes. That's his eyes. That's the only one. That's the only man I've been with. You the daddy. You the daddy." Get up there and they say, "You are not the baby's daddy."
Let me tell y'all
what
something.
his kids look like.
For the person that hate all of these shows, I promise you, when Maury come on in the morning, he watching it more than me. He'll say, "What they say?" I said, "I don't know. I wasn't even really paying attention. Was he the daddy or not?" That's what I mean. All of this stuff is just designed just to see if he can get a rise out of me. But everybody that know me know that it's hard to get a rise out of me unless now sometimes, granted, I'm not perfect. My cup runneth over and it's on and popping. But for the most time, I don't even.
Rick
I
said
don't
he
feed
missed
him.
court. Rick said he missed court TV. If they take every court TV show off today, I'd be satisfied.
That's right. And BB said you are so extra. You are so right, my sister.
Man,
but we
so
still
look.
love him.
Well, right now we're gonna do what we gotta do. Gina had one topic today because of her tooth. We got a little something that CC's gonna give us our current event because we have to go down to the boat today, CC to meet Tate. And we're going down to the boat.
We separating today. My husband is going to the boat, but for everybody that can see me with this scarf tied on my head, let me tell y'all. First of all, let me just say I started to abandon y'all today because I really was not feeling being on here with this scarf on my head. But I had to get my hair done and I had to take my hair down. And Lord knows, for anybody who has natural hair, you know good and well that it's a whole situation under the scarf, okay? It's like a whole situation. And at first I was like, I'm not getting on here today. But then I said, God, practice what you preach.
Yeah.
When we
Commitment.
always say real people, real situations, real topics. So everybody know that we really had to take our head down when we get ready to go get these protective styles. So
burn the boat.
Burn your
right.
boat. Do what you gotta do. All right, CC. Excellent job, everybody. Y'all, I want y'all to know we don't have a format. Today was a feel-good day. We talked about a few topics. Let's see what CC's gonna bring us into today. CC, segue into you. What's your topic today? CC is our current event person and our engineer. What's your topic today?
Okay, my topic today is mask mandates for schools. So, as we all know, school is about to ramp back up again, and after a year and some change with no in-person learning, the children are going back to school. Now, two particular areas that I wanted to discuss. Here we go with good old Texas again and Florida. Now, the Florida school superintendents require masks for students without giving them an opt-out. With an opt-out, the governor in Florida is saying that those districts that do that will face having their salaries withheld. The superintendents will face having their salaries withheld because, and this is DeSantis, you know, we like to call out those cowards, and Republican Florida governor, he has basically told them that he is forbidding them to have mask mandates. He doesn't want them to require the children to wear masks in school. Now, we all know that although the vaccines are readily available, they are not yet approved for children under 12 years old. So that mask is some form of a layer of protection for them. Already, they're not. Rick says DeSantis needs to be dragged into the Atlantic Ocean. Yes, definitely. But we also know that at this time, the teachers aren't required to be vaccinated. So you're talking about unvaccinated children under 12 years old, and I do not see where wearing a mask would hurt them. It would be some form of protection at least. And the CDC recommends that children K through 12 wear masks. It's not a mandate, but it's a recommendation from the CDC, who we have been taking all of our guidance from throughout this whole pandemic. The largest district in Florida, which is Miami-Dade, they haven't decided whether or not they are going to have a mask mandate or not. And Leon County, which includes Tallahassee is the capital, is temporarily requiring masks. The superintendent said that he will not let a threat about his salary be his guidance. He'd rather err on the side of caution than to have students die. So hands up for him.
Thank you.
And we are talking about a place where Florida has 29,903 cases that were reported on Friday.
In a day?
In a day.
Oh my God. Oh
and
my God.
Rick said we can give Texas back to Mexico and be done with it. And Texas. Let's talk about Texas. Governor Greg Abbott, yes, Greg Abbott, the Texas governor, issued an executive order in May to keep schools from requiring mask. The Dallas Independent School District, which is the largest one, says that they are still going to require masks. And again, the superintendent said that he would not allow that mandate to stop him. He said that it's his job as an employer and as head of the education department to provide a safe environment for teachers as well as students. And the governor should stick to politics and governing and let him do his job, which is 100% on the money. Because when they go back to school, the districts that follow these mandates, and when they start to have children get sick and people start to die and all of that, because we all know that that's how this thing goes, then nobody's going to look at Governor Abbott. Nobody's going to look at Governor DeSantis. They are going to look at those superintendents of those districts and want answers as to why they did not do a better job of protecting those students. And I just can't figure out one reason for the life of me why they would be prohibited from having a mask mandate.
That's sick.
They're
If you
very
really, if you think about excellent topic, CC, excellent topic, Gina, all of y'all. That if you think about this, man, we going back into the Stone Age, man. We're literally committing suicide. You can call it anything you want, committing suicide. Because you think about right now, we just lost another trip. CC wants to go to Vegas to see Majid, one of her besties, to graduate. Majid went back to college to get her RN in her 40s. Damn fool. Damn fool, I thought. Who's laughing there that she's getting ready to be an RN? Who's laughing there? Went back to who's laughing there? Jay, I'm just going back to school. Okay, Jay. I'm not Gene. I told her, okay. I'm saying to myself, ain't no way in the world she gonna do it. Now Majid's real smart, but she ain't been in school 20 years. Went back to school because she had her direction. She burnt her boat. I was going to do this. Majid went through all kinds of stuff. Moved out of the fancy house to go to the smaller house, so she don't have to work as many hours, and so she could study. Just had all kind of commitments that she just went off and went and did because she burnt her boat. She was trying to get it done. Well, who's laughing now that she's getting ready to be the RN and it's done?
That's right.
Already the director of whatever she is now, right? She's already got people working under there. She's already the director after going back. She's a mental health worker like the rest of us. Life was in despair. She went and moved up, got up there, went to Vegas. She didn't go over there to gamble and hit the lottery. She went over there to get her life together.
Got her boat.
Yeah. Burnt the boat. Went over there and got it done. So who's laughing now? But people, what is your commitment? Are you really trying to get some stuff done? That's Tate telling us to come down there. We gotta go down there.
I feel like they should maybe get the parents to sign consent forms, to cover themselves, because like you say, they're not going to look to DeSantis or anyone else, the superintendent, when their kid is laying in ICU.
Yeah.
They're not going to look to them as y'all did the wrong thing.
Right.
So what they need to do, in my opinion, is every child that comes back in that school, whether you wearing a mask or not, get your parent to sign a consent form stating that my child is not, or you are not liable for the actions, for my actions or my child's actions regarding COVID. I would do that. I really would. Because I mean, there's almost, I mean, how else are you going to put? This man is putting his salary on the line and doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's like, the lives are more important. These children are more important. You can have, he said it, you can have my salary. That's a small thing to a giant.
That's right.
So I mean, I agree. I'd get them all to sign consent forms. I sure would.
And he said, and in Florida, they said that they would not allow people to be exempt because of political or personal freedom reasons. They said now, if it's a medical exemption or something like that, then they would consider it. But, just because you're a Republican or you don't believe in it because of your whatever your political affiliation is, they say that that's not an acceptable excuse.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be. As we say,
and that's another thing. Rick said, bring up a good point. He said he believes one of these states made it impossible to sue the school or the city if your child gets COVID at school. But that'll be the next thing. You know what I'm saying? Soon as these kids go back, because we live in a litigious society anyway, somebody is always looking to sue somebody. So when they go back to school and your kid gets COVID and laying up in the ICU, then they're going to be looking for everybody to blame except for themselves. You know, they're going to look for who they can sue, who they can blame, whose fault is it. And some of this stuff, people, just because somebody gives you guidance about something or says that things should go one way or another, you got to try to exercise some common sense. You know, I know common sense is a real oxymoron these days because it's not common, but like, use some common sense.
If
We
just
all,
think, just think
mm,
if we didn't mandate, I say we as a country, if they didn't mandate vaccines back when polio came out, we'd still be fighting polio.
right.
We
And
be,
then,
I don't think we'd be fighting, Gina. We'd be dead. We would be dead if we didn't do the right thing years
all
ago.
of those things.
and guess what? Another thing that just relating, just to piggyback very quickly, is that they said that now the military is making the COVID vaccine mandatory, just like any other routine shot that you had to
By
get.
September 1st, that's right.
Absolutely.
And you know what, y'all?
LifeBridge Health, same thing. All their workers have to be vaccinated or
Yeah.
go through rigid COVID testing as of September. I think the end of this month. That and
the Baltimore City Housing Authority just announced this morning that they was requiring all of their employees to be vaccinated.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Hey,
So
I agree. Let's talk about the elephant in the room that nobody makes mention of. We spent all this time putting together this football team in Baltimore that we think is prepared to put us in the Super Bowl and win it. And then we got this awesome MVP quarterback who decided he's not going to get the shot. You let your mother make the decision on negotiating your contract. You'd have made all these great decisions and all this kind of stuff. And then you turn around and get some poor direction given to you. Somebody told you not to get the shot. This is his second time. His second time being put in COVID. Second time. And now you still have been talking about, you got to talk to the doctors about it. Come on, man. That's the dumbest shit anybody ever heard. CC was telling me the other day that on television, on Sports Center, they were saying something about if your team, if something happened, if more than 20% or something like that, a team end up with it, that they forfeit the game. Meaning that you don't have it, you lose 20% of your players. The next team, the NFL team says, I don't even want to be on the field with them. Then you automatically forfeited that game. Go ahead, C.
They said you forfeit the game, your team takes a loss, and whichever, both teams don't get paid, and whichever team is responsible for the outbreak due to unvaccinated players is going to be responsible for the other team's salary.
And medical bills. And medical bills. Now, what the hell is your medical being able to sit out for 10 days? 10, 20 players. You know what I mean? Some of this is just ridiculous, man. We're making poor, bad decisions, y'all. Poor, bad decisions. When y'all hear me laughing and joking about CC when she comes up with her title, her topics, here it is. This is what I'm talking about. She talks about important events happening in our world today that we get opinionated. Look at Gina. Look at myself. Look at CC. Look at Rick. Look at them out there in the world. Look at BB. Look at all this that's going on. It's just not a game. She comes up, hey, Rhonda, she comes up with some topics and stuff like that that we got to discuss and talk about.
Yeah, Rhonda's right. Wear your mask. The life you save may be your own. But this is what Rick had to say, baby, and this is a really good point. Insurance companies will soon be denying coverage if you're not vaccinated, and you must prove a medical reason if you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is gonna, so because you go out here and decide that you don't want to be compliant, you don't want to get a vaccine, then if you get a vaccine and you die, I mean, if you don't get a vaccine and you die, and your mother has a $50,000 insurance policy on you, they're not even going to pay it out. That's like suicide. That's like suicide. You chose to die.
Because you could have prevented it.
Exactly.
And exactly. That's what BB said. People that participate in that are murderers.
Mm-hmm.
Little Johnny was a good little boy at school. Little Johnny went to school, did everything he needed to do. Little Johnny played. Little Johnny had a good time. Little Johnny came home. He hugged his mother. Hello, Johnny. He hugged his sister. Hello, Johnny. He hugged his brother. Hello, Johnny. His grandmother's in hospital. She's staying with them because she's at the house. She's getting up in age. She wants to see her grandson. She hugs little Johnny. Hello, Johnny. Little Johnny just now hugged his grandmother. He don't know he just murdered her. Because little Johnny was immune to the virus because he's a kid or something like that didn't happen. But his mother wasn't. His 80-year-old mother wasn't. Y'all, you don't know who you carrying, what you're doing these things with. But yet you come over there and then say, yeah, girl, we're going to get together tonight. Don't forget the condoms. The hell?
And Rick said he was really
having sex. Go ahead, see.
Rick said he was really referring to medical insurance coverage, but life insurance is going to take the same route for sure. Yeah, I mean, all of this stuff, people don't know. These insurance companies, life insurance, medical insurance, all of they look for a reason not to pay.
Right.
They look for a reason not to pay. You know, you gotta always we got Blue Cross and Blue Shield, the best insurance that you can have. And when I was telling Maurice the other day, I said, since I've been trying on my weight loss journey, my glasses, I had to keep going back and getting them tightened up because they keep getting loose on my face. I said, I'm sick of it. So I was looking into having LASIK eye surgery. Blue Cross and Blue Shield will not pay for it. They said it's an elective surgery to improve your vision. Just go ahead and wear glasses. You know what I'm saying? So these insurance, I just say that to say insurance companies, life insurance, health insurance, they look for a reason to deny you coverage. And you go ahead and give them all the ammunition that you want. But no, not me. Not on my watch.
Hey, y'all. All right, y'all. Here we go. We've been here all this time, Jack. We've been on for 2 hours, y'all. Gina Lee, you have did awesome. Hands up to Gina Lee for hanging in there with her, just there dealing with her mouth and dental and stuff like that and came in anyhow. We giving you some information. Hey, listen, Gina Lee, take us home. Closing thoughts.
Well, I'm sure I'm going to say the same thing that CC always says. You know, adults are now passing the disease on to your children.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to think about other people. Got to. This is a crisis now. I've been in the house pretty much for a year. I want to go outside. You know, I really do. But
go ahead,
No, I'm just saying, but I'm not going to put my life on the line for nobody.
My brother Tate, who runs the street, Frank, is online listening. I hope my nephew, his father, my brother Tate, you know what I mean, enjoys himself. I don't know, not one person in the world that enjoy their life more than my big brother Tate. He got a boat down there. We're on our way down to the boat now. He said to call down there, and we're going down there to the boat. Cece ain't going. She's going to get her hair done. I'm going down there to the boat. And I got to take my wallet because what does the word boat stand for, CC? BOAT?
Break out another 1,000.
Break out another 1,000. I don't even need going there. They need to talk to me. Man, you know what I mean? Today, going down there to see my brother and say hi. Whatever it was, they put on his bill because he owns my slip. But he said he needed to go tape later. Man, just meet me down there. I said, well, what are they talking about? You know what I mean? What kind of money? Man, just meet me down there. That means it's some money. He wouldn't tell me meet me down there, Frank, for no $20, $30, for no $100. He would just say you owe me. If the boat people want you down there, it's probably $1,000. You know what I mean? This is not a game, y'all. This is your life. CC, closing thoughts.
Okay. Well, we already told y'all to wear the damn mask and get the shot. But I just wanted to read what was on the back of this Harriet Tubman mug. It says, every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have strength within you. The strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world.
One more time, CC. Please read that to us one more time.
Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world. So, for all of those that gave us a donation, You know, I wanted to read that for you, for all of those that had it in your heart to give us something, but you just couldn't swing it this time. I wanted to read that for you because I just wanted to let y'all know that we sitting here and it's like we just shooting the shit with some friends or whatever. But every little thing that we do to make a change in our neighborhoods, to make a change in our community, is one step closer to us changing at least our world.
That's real good. Dr. Ted Sutton taught us something. Show us your 7 closest friends, and I'll show you my future. Here's mine. This is my new circle. This is what I'm dealing with. This really hits home. This is really cool. I'm gonna close with as I started with, victim. You're a victim. You're not paying any attention to your surroundings. You TikToking, you got a mask on with the head thing over the earpiece with a hoodie. You got your head down walking across the street. You're a victim. And I tell you something else too. Back in the day, thank God for change. You would have been a victim to the party. You'd have been a victim to me. I'd have seen you walking over there. Wouldn't even been thinking about doing nothing dirty. But once I saw you put yourself in that position, everybody running around with masks on now too. Back in the day, this couldn't even work. We'd robbed everybody. We come up to every corner. Y'all dummies run over there with this in your hand, that on your head, and run over to the damn car full of people with masks on and say, "Here, I got 2 jiggle readies right here. Pick which one you want." All that kind of shit. You damn idiots. I'd have took everything you had. Boys, rest in peace, Vito, Cleophas, them real people, them thugs that just didn't do nothing but rob, pillage, and plunder. I'm sorry to hear they ain't around and go ahead and take advantage of you fools. You ain't thinking about something. Pay attention to your surroundings. Try to learn something. And as Cece would say, my last thing, the lady at the corner store is not your mother. Stop calling the lady at the corner store mother.
Lord, that cut through me like a knife.
Call your mother Shirley. I saw it yesterday. I heard it yesterday. Hey, Ma, let me over there lie to Ma. Y'all walk in the store and the next one, Ma, give me one of them. Just not call that lady at the corner store your mother, and you outside calling your mother Shirley. Man, get it together. Hey, y'all. Hands up, please. One last. I know we do this a lot there. Hands up to another great show. Hands up to another great show. To all the new people that's coming in. I mean, Stanley and that. And to the new people that's just banging in there because my wife is linking y'all or whatever she's doing to everybody. I want to tell y'all what we're going to do. She's going to put something up here. She's going to put up Tony's, Tony and myself's back to school book giveaway. It's not at Carroll Park this year. This year is the 600 block of Poplar Grove. It is now officially, that's at the corner of Edmondson and Poplar Grove and Harlem, Poplar Grove and Lambville. All that kind of stuff is in there. If it's something that you want to send Cash App, please send it to my phone number, 410-800-6628. Don't look for nothing slick like I sent it to Party Marty. My Cash App is real simple. 410-800-6628. For everybody that's pledging something, thank you very much. To the BBs and them who said my money's a little funny right now, but put up some time, thank you, BB. To Sheila, my neighbor, that says I'm going to come over there personally and drop off some books. You know what I mean? Drop off some supplies, drop off some book bags. So everybody that's out there, man, everybody's trying to make a difference. Man, thanks. Now, here's my one thing that we're going to start sending you every show and every episode because I need something of you.
Thank you, Rick.
Thanks, Rick. I've given you. Thank you, Rick. I've given you. Myself has given you. My wife has given you. We've given you our time. We've given you our expertise. We've given you a lot of knowledge. We've given you some things to do, some information. And we pay for this out of our pockets. Cece and I pay for this out of our pockets. When you went to that Harriet Tubman tour and stuff like that, so Gina Lee decided she wanted to go. We talked about it. Before we know it, she had paid for it out of her pocket. We're putting up our money. Then nobody asked you for any money back. Then nobody asked you to give us nothing because we good. But I am going to tell you what you can help us with. Cece will give you some information now. some information there. Get your pads out, get your pencil out, get your thinking cap. It's real simple. If you go to YouTube and you subscribe to whatever she says to do, now, first of all, let me tell you something else too. I don't be oppressing nobody about no couple dollars or no nothing what you do and what you don't do. But I'm going to tell you how this thing is. Your name comes up, right? See, it tells you who subscribed and who put you in there. So I ain't calling nobody out or nothing like that. But if you don't help and you smile at party all the time, you ain't got to do nothing but go over there for me, CC, and Gina, Dr. Ted, and the people that's over there, and tap that little button that says that you want to subscribe. Don't cost you nothing. You don't do it, man. Shame on you.
Yeah, and for those that watched Real Talk yesterday and went over there and subscribed, just let me say thank you. I checked the channel this morning. We had about 10 new people that subscribed. So I just wanted to thank those people for going over there. And the banner right there on the screen, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Simply Us by Party Marty. When you go there, you will see the little thumbnail with the picture that we always use when we advertise our shows, the picture with Maurice behind the computer and Gina and Doc and I on the other side. That's the thumbnail picture. All you have to do is go to the channel. There's a little button that says subscribe. You hit the button and you subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you a nickel, and it'll take you less than 5 minutes.
And it'll help us.
And it'll help us once we have enough subscribers. Then we'll get a stipend from YouTube to help us with these trips and outings, just to offset the cost. And like I said, we don't do no begging. You know, when none of Gina or my husband or I, none of us need your money. You know what I'm saying? All we ask you to do is to do something that's going to take you less than 5 minutes. And it's absolutely free, you know. So anybody that can get over there, YouTube is also free. Subscribing to the channel is free. And if you're looking at us right now, you're already on your computer, your phone, or something. So all you got to do is do what you've been doing. Go stay on the computer once we get off of here in a minute, and just go over to YouTube and subscribe to our channel, Simply Us by Party Marty.
That's a small thing to do for John. Okay, y'all, another awesome show. Everybody, thank you very much for allowing us to be into your home. Once again, this thing is taking off. You know what I mean? Donnie Glover, thanks for chiming in there to see your work. This is what you taught us, Donnie. This is what we're doing.
Gina Lee, I did, baby.
Gina Lee for hanging there with us after leaving. No, but everybody know there's nothing worse than leaving the dentist.
Right.
I mean, you know what I mean? It's nothing worse than leaving the dentist. You know what I mean? So she dealt with all that yesterday and today. She's back up plugging with it. So that's it. Hey, y'all. Wow. What a powerful show. Different. All these shows are different. All these shows are different. I'll take you home now. Great show, everybody. Great show. Last hands up. I know your hands are charged. Y'all know we're a praying group, and we hands up to another nice show. Great show. Here's what I do. I close out a little differently now. For some reason, my mother's been in my heart lately, and that's what's up. And this is her song. What is that, baby? Cookie? Okay. All right. May the work I've done speak for me. May the life I've lived speak for me. When I'm resting in my grave, oh Lord, may they say, may the service we give on this podcast speak for me. Thank you very much for everybody participating. Now be somebody important, be yourself. Kenny Davis, take us home, Kenny Davis, what you always say. Now everybody, go out there and have a great day on purpose. Don't forget, y'all. Pray for somebody, be somebody. We out. To God be the glory.